I remember when I walked Front Range's shop, probably 3 months, 2 or 3 months before we started our study, they had participated in Synchronous Solutions, and they were doing about the same volume as we did, maybe just a little less, but almost the exact same volume we did. And we walked through their shop, and there was this kind of calm production going on. It really at the time didn't look like they were doing the volume that we were doing, because it just didn't look hectic enough. But now if you walk through our shop, all my two managers that were with me when we went out to Front Range said, now our shop kind of resembles the same thing. If somebody came and saw us, they wouldn't understand that we're knocking out, I don't know, between 1,600 and 2,200 square feet a day.
I'm Maria. I'm part of the Synchronous Solutions team. I work more on the coaching side, but I work with these awesome consultants, and we are excited to interview you today.
So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So hi, I'm Christen with Hallmark Stone Company. I'm the owner of the company. We started the company back in 1998. So we just celebrated last year our 25th anniversary, just in time to start working with Synchronous Solutions. I wish we had started with them 25 years ago.
Well, congratulations on 25 years. That's exciting.
Thanks.
So, and you said it's been about a year that you've been working with us now?
Yeah, just a little over a year, I think.
Okay.
When did we start? Was it?
It was actually February of last year.
Yeah,
is when we were first there, and then it took some time to get the software to calculate T-dollars, and then we kind of started over again. But yeah, it's been a little over a year.
So there's a little bit of a jump start there in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And can you tell me a little bit about the program? You work here with Rob, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
A little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about the program that you're working on? Is it a full synchronous flow implementation that you guys are doing?
Yeah, we did kind of the full synchronous flow implementation. We were lucky in that we had a lot of the tools to allow us to do that already with our CRM system. We had all the data. It was mainly just maybe reformatting some of the data so it fit some of the Synchronous Solutions meeting formats and different things like that. But we were lucky enough to have that. But when we kicked it off in February, I think the best thing was just how we started. We had all the managers and the individuals that eventually would be part of the guiding coalition were in that meeting, and Rob did an excellent job of explaining the process and showing them the opportunities and showing them how what the benefits would be. And I, at the very beginning, had told my managers that I was 100% behind it, and that we were going to do, no matter what how painful it was over the first year, we were going to do it for a year or two to see how it worked, and then we'd go from there. But we were going to fully embrace it and really kind of go after it with a vengeance. And my managers really signed on and really participated and really got into it. I very quickly at the beginning kind of pulled away from it. So it would be all about my people and not just me from top down directing on what needed to happen. And they really took it and ran with it. And they used the tools every single day till today. And things have really, really smoothed out for us.
That's amazing. So you got the whole buy-in from your management team, and then they were the ones that carried it forward.
Exactly. And I think that does take ownership or management's to show that they're committed to it, that they're not going into it grudgingly or hesitatingly or halfway. You have to show them that you're going to spend the money on it and you're going to do it and you're fully embracing it. You're not looking to modify it every step when they come out with a suggestion that you have to make it your own personal view of how it looks. You're not looking to do that. You're just looking to implement their program the way they have made it work successfully in other places. And then once you do that, if you can think of ways to improve that later on, that's great. But first, we're going to just embrace this and really go after it. And luckily, I have a really group of energetic managers, and they jumped into it. And I think they very quickly started seeing some benefits from it. And once they started seeing some benefits from it, then they fully embraced it and went after trying to get every benefit they could from it.
Beautiful. Yeah, those are the most successful people too. When you have your whole team bought into it, it kind of it just takes on a life of its own.
Yeah,
right?
That's kind of what happened. Is it definitely took on a life of its own. The people that were involved, especially in the weekly or the daily buffer meetings, and then the weekly guiding coalition meetings, I mean, they were using the word $T day in and day out. They really. The whole buffer meeting thing just really ironed out a lot of wrinkles that we had in our system, which we always looked at the day before to find out what needed to be done for the next day, but we weren't going 5 days in advance and looking for what the things that weren't getting done. And so it really changed the whole accountability to each of the managers. And then when each of the different managers realized they were all being held accountable from the my installation manager with templating and getting drawings turned in and everything. He was being held accountable for that on the day after, to the programmers, to the guys running the saw, to the guys running CNCs and edging, to the guys doing final detail work. Every one of them quickly realized that there was something in it for them. If they took ownership of their area, then the people before them would take ownership. And so they weren't fighting as many fires either. And they each really worked well with each other to do that. And they still have those meetings every single day. Every day at 9:30, they have a meeting on the buffer meeting, and they still have the guiding coalition meetings weekly. We've changed, we've kind of changed the members of the guiding coalition over time to get new points of view and stuff, but it's still developing new ideas, and we're still improving on a lot of the things that we started tracking a little over a year ago. So it's really great to see, and you can really sense the participation and the involvement from the managers, that they've taken ownership of this, and it means something to them. It's not just they're not just producing reports to produce reports. They're not just having a meeting to have a meeting. They're having that meeting to resolve the issues and to know what the issues are. They're having that buffering meeting. They're holding each other accountable. They're going to let the other manager before them or after them know if they're not getting their stuff done. They're even looking to say, okay, well, what do we need to do, shifting workforce wise, to make sure that if there's a delay somewhere, that we have the staffing correct and have backups in place for when people are on vacation and things like that. So they're really getting out in front of things a lot better now. And if you walked our shop today versus walking through our shop, I remember when I walked Front Range's shop, probably 2 or 3 months before we started our study, they had participated in Synchronous Solutions, and they were doing about the same volume as we did, maybe just a little less, but almost the exact same volume we did. And we walked through their shop, and there was this kind of calm production going on. It really at the time didn't look like they were doing the volume that we were doing, because it just didn't look hectic enough. But now if you walk through our shop, all my two managers that were with me when we went out to Front Range said, now our shop kind of resembles the same thing. If somebody came and saw us, they wouldn't understand that we're knocking out, I don't know, between 1,600 and 2,200 square feet a day. They really wouldn't see that there's we're in a pinch, or that we're struggling or anything. It just looks like it just happens, which is what I saw at Front Range, and that's kind of what's been happening here. Is stuff just happens, it gets done. Everything's we're well ahead of schedule. If you walk to my shop right now, you'd see we have 2 days worth of installations complete. So we have tomorrow's, which is Wednesdays, and probably by now we have all of Thursday's installations complete. And things have just run so much more smoothly, and we're catching issues so much quicker. We're not finding out that we don't have stone 2 days before the installation goes in. We're finding out 6 or 7 days before the installation goes in if the stone doesn't match or if there's a problem with material. So we still have time to react and still get those issues resolved. And it's just the main thing I would say is just it's really helped eliminate the chaos and just made everybody's job more enjoyable. When you can focus on just what really needs to be done and you're on schedule, well, then you have a lot more time to work on new ideas and new processes and try new things. And that's what it's kind of done for everybody.
I love that your team has fully embraced the whole idea of continuous improvement, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So aside from, these amazing results in reducing chaos that your team has experienced, what about actual business results? How have you seen a difference? Have you increased sales, improved timing through the shop? What are the other metrics that you're measuring?
So we've always had a lot of metrics in place. Our sales, we are fully wholesale, so we don't sell direct to the public at all. Our sales staff, we'll probably end up this year about even with 2023, which is actually really good when we talk to the typical people in our industry. They're close to 10% down, not just in countertops, but when I talk to the kitchen and bath shops around St. Louis and our customers, most of them are down a little bit from last year. We're looking like we're going to end the year almost the same as we were last year, volume wise. Profitability wise, we're definitely up. We've reduced waste. We reduced callbacks by about 70% over prior years. We track those any type of callbacks on jobs. Remakes from 2 years ago were down 70%. So just to those two things alone, when you translate that into slabs needed to remake jobs and customer service issues and eventually dealer issues if you delay their installations. Right now, as of last week, I think the number was right around 96% of our jobs are installed in less than 7 days. And I think we're at 100% of our jobs were templated in less than 3 days. What that means is if a builder, some of our builders, we know we're going to template 6 months from now and what day we're going to do it. So, but those are from new orders that come in and ask us, hey, we want to set up a template date. So for the last month, 100% of those people were templated within 3 days. And I think it was 95% or so were installed within, and that's fully completed. That's including if there was a callback or anything like that, were installed within 7 days. So, and our quotes are now down to, our quoting department is down to less than 2 hours response time on every quote for the time we receive the quote to the time we send the quote back out. So we have a lot of measures. Our waste is down. That we track literally everything, and we're constantly getting new ideas. And then when we get new ideas, we're like, okay, how are we going to measure that to find out? One of the things we put in place at the beginning of the study was call responsiveness. How many times are we answering the phone versus sending it to voicemail? And we greatly improved the call responsiveness as far as how many times a live person is actually getting the phone rather than the customer having to leave a message and we call them back. That doesn't happen a lot in business today. It seems like
not these days.
Yeah, you leave a message or you text somebody and then you wait for a response. And we decided that, one of the things we saw repeatedly from some of our customers, we survey our customers and we survey them the old-fashioned way with mail, and we get a tremendous response. We get about a 40% response back on our surveys, which is dramatically better than what you would get with email or things of that nature. And they usually write comments. And what we were seeing is, especially from people my age and older, you would get comments about or so-and-so doesn't return calls promptly, or I had to leave 2 messages to get them to confirm. A lot of times those 2 messages were left by them within 5 minutes of each other. So the person could be on lunch and get 3 messages from the same customer while they were on lunch. But still, the whole thing is we didn't want to have the reputation from our customers that you couldn't talk to somebody. Our project managers, we used to call them expediters, which are the people that deal with each individual customer scheduling and coordinating a job. We renamed them project managers. And they're really there to handhold the customers through the whole process. And one of the things that makes that important is responding to phone calls and being very quick about it. And so tracking that and it became a priority, and it's really worked, along with tracking the speed at which we get quotes done to our dealers, and that's really worked as well. So
absolutely,
it's allowed us to really focus on smaller and smaller details in order to make improvements. We've got a lot of the big things are working very well, but now we have the ability to kind of say, okay, let's look at each detail. One of the simple things that Rob helped us put in is we noticed we install somewhere around, I don't know, I would say on an average 40 jobs a day, somewhere right, give or take, sometimes 35, sometimes 50, but 40 jobs a day. And typically we would have 4 or 5 jobs that would cancel on the same day that we were supposed to install them. It might be a builder that the cement truck is there pouring the driveway and the sidewalk, so we can't get in the house. It might be a homeowner calling saying they have a sick child and they would prefer us not to come that day. Maybe a contractor saying that he found out something was wrong and he needed to fix it. But that was a half a dozen jobs a day. And then you realize, well, that's the equivalent of 2 installation crews. We run 25 installation crews, and that's the equivalent of 2 installation crews not getting anything done. And so what we did is we developed standby jobs. So we went to our builders and said, hey, if we can install these jobs a day or 2 early, does that bother you? I mean, do we really need to, can we just call the super and say, hey, can we come today? And they're like, fine, we don't care if you come early, you can come early whenever you want. And so every day we have a list of standby jobs that are already complete for the next 2 days. And we just identify the ones that we know we can pull forward. Some of our kitchen and baths have told us, hey, yeah, when we get to the countertops, you guys are welcome to come. We've already got the cabinets installed. So just let us know if you want to come early, that's fine. And so now we are replacing any of those jobs that were canceled are getting immediately replaced with another job. The guys just come back to the shop once they find out it's canceled. We'll have the job ready for them to load up, and they'll take it out and they'll get it installed. So it's really helped our volume, because at the end of the month, the number of jobs that we wanted installed for that month are getting installed for the month. Might be a little bit different mix, but we're not having days where we could have possibly had 5 more installations done and we didn't get them done because of cancellations.
Well, that's like 10%.
Yeah, it was a big number. And then we started looking at the reasons for that. And then we dissected it, the reasons for one of our big builders. A big reason was, like I said, the cement trucks. They were pouring on their schedule. They were pouring sidewalks and driveways on their schedule at the same time the countertops were getting installed. So we just changed it. We had them change the schedule and pull us 2 days earlier in the process, and it made a huge difference. But had we dissected it and known which ones were due to concrete trucks and which ones were due to sick children and which ones were due to cabinets not being set properly, we couldn't have fixed it. And
right, you found the root cause of all those, right, and you were able to figure out a solution.
Yeah, and that's really worked out very, very well.
Brilliant.
And because it's really hard when if you get 5 installations canceled today, well, they still want you to come in the next couple of days, but your schedule's full the next couple of days. Right. So where are you going to put them? But if we know, hey, I pulled 2 from tomorrow and I've pulled 3 from the next day, well, I just backfill the ones that I'm moving back to those positions. So it's really, really, really worked out well. And I could probably give you a dozen, probably more than that, examples of the data and the projects we've done through the Guiding Coalition that we've really worked at the root cause and what's causing the problems and been able to find remedies for that. Beautiful.
Love it. I love hearing all this. You guys have worked out quite a few creative solutions to the problems in your shop. How has it affected you as the owner on a personal level in the last year and a half of working with us?
You're not going to print this or show this to anybody, right?
I'm going to show it to everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of the point, Fred.
Well, I would tell you, I purposely, probably to Rob, maybe Rob's surprised a little bit at the beginning, I purposely limited my participation with Synchronous Solutions right at the very beginning, because my idea was, it doesn't matter if I fix things, or if it doesn't matter if I can come up with ideas. What matters is if the people that are kind of come behind me can come up with ideas. Unless I want to be here every single day and I want the company reliant upon me to come up and fix everything, I need to have the people around me coming up with ideas. And if they come up with ideas, I don't have to sell them on the idea. It's their idea. They're gonna. If my production manager, my production team comes up with an idea and they fix something, they're going to do it because it was their idea. If it's an idea that I come up with and I have to make them try to do it, then I'm going to be babysitting that for a long time. So I purposely wanted my management team to take ownership of this without them hearing my opinion on every idea. When an owner has to weigh in and give his opinion on everything, and we've been around the block probably too many times. And so you say, oh, I tried that 10 years ago and it didn't work. Well, you know what? You had different managers 10 years ago. The economy was different 10 years ago. The technology was different 10 years ago. And your installers and shop people were different 10 years ago. The guys you have now, it might work. And so by removing yourself from the judgment process and removing yourself from the need to give your opinion all the time, it's amazing how much better people accept and try things. And I'm kind of surprised at some of the ideas that they tried and worked, because probably if I had been involved at the beginning, I would have said, yeah, we've tried that before, that doesn't work, and gone on. But they've really done a great job. I'm kind of in a position where my career that I'm looking for down the road 4 or 5 years to retire. I've been able to greatly reduce my daily presence and daily activities. I've basically worked myself out of a daily job. I am no longer involved with daily production, daily installs, with the need to get things done on a daily basis, not only when all my managers are here, but when I have managers on vacation. So I had 2 of my primary managers. One was in Alaska for 2 weeks and one had a baby the same day that she left for Alaska, and the company still ran, and it ran just fine. I tried to be here more to try to screw that up, but they managed to keep it running even though I was here, and they did a great job. So the process really helped, I think, everybody take ownership, and it's really made my be able to spend time kind of looking for that next big thing in my life, and knowing that I have a team of managers that this business is going to run very well, and it's going to continue to improve. Even more importantly, it's going to continue to improve very well, whether I'm here or not.
Well said.
Thank you.
And congratulations to you for making that transition and looking forward to the next phase of your life, because you have that freedom now to make that choice for yourself.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to add that we didn't already cover?
I guess I would just say I really appreciated the way Synchronous Solutions, the way Rob, they started the program. I used to be a consultant myself, so I did consulting work for 14 years, right when about 5 years after I was out of college, and I traveled all over to companies and tried to get new systems and processes and stuff implemented. And so I work with a lot of other consultants, and it's sometimes the consultants come in and they have the "we know better than you" attitude, and listen to how smart I am, and we've done these great things for other people, and you just need to listen to us and we'll do it. They come with a little bit of attitude, and most consultants aren't aren't readily just accepted by the people they're working with. But Rob had a really great technique of listening and never coming across as, hey, I have all the answers. I would say, in fact, he was just the opposite. And then he came back and said, you guys have all the answers. I just want to get them down on paper. And so he really worked very well with my team to solicit their things. He would point out things to people in the meetings about structure or how to track things or things to do. But he was just very encouraging and very supportive of, hey, you guys are going to come up with the ideas and you guys are going to come up with the ways to do this. And I'm just here to kind of coach you through the process and show you some things that we think have worked for some other places and might work for you. You might have to change it, but never did he come in and say, hey, Synchronous Solutions has the answers, and we know so much more than you just need to listen to us. And it had a great attitude from day one. They had a great attitude. They built partnerships from day one when we worked with them. And I would tell you, day one was the most important day of the whole thing. And I would tell any company that does this, day one is your most important day. As an owner of a company, if you show your staff that you're not supporting this, if you show your staff that you're only going to give this kind of a minimal effort, and you show your staff that this is an interruption to their regular job, it's not going to be successful. You have to go into it as an owner and make sure your staff knows that you're fully in support of this process and that you're going to give them the tools and you're going to give them the time they need, and you're excited about it. And if you do that, you can get them excited about it. And Rob did a great job from day one. We did a great job getting our team excited about it, and they took it from there and ran with it. And so kudos off to Rob and the team at Synchronous Solutions for just their approach to how they go about these things.
Thank you so much. You're making my head get big.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. It's really made a huge impact on the culture of the company. I wish there was some way through videotape or something we could have showed a day in the life a year and a half ago and a day in the life now of the company. Just the amount of the amount of tenseness there was a year and a half ago every day about, oh my gosh, we got to run these jobs out to installers because they're late. This broke yesterday and we're supposed to install it today. And you're just fighting that battle every day. So now we knew 5 days ago that there was an issue with this job. The stone's already here. The stone's coming today. We're not finding out 2 days before that there's an issue with the job. We found out there was an issue with the job 5 days ago. And if we can address the issue, we can. But we got 5 days to go back to the customer if there's an issue that's going to cause any delays. And the customers are fine if you're contacting them 5 days in advance and letting them know something versus contacting them an hour in advance, letting them know something's happening. So it's really just made the whole team much more relaxed, much more enjoyable of their job, and things like that. So it's been a win all the way around.
Wonderful. Well, Fred, thank you so much for your time today. And again, for your patience getting into Zoom, and for all your support. We truly appreciate it. I will be broadcasting this to everyone. This was wonderful. It just really reinforces why we do what we do, because we truly are partners in your business. And hearing that goes both ways. We're so proud to be partnered with you in your journey.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Rob, thanks.
Thank you, Fred. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Fred. You've got a great team.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.